Hi, everyone. Welcome back to 2 Minute Matters. I am Deb Muller. I'm the CEO and founder of HR Acuity, and glad you once again joined us. I'm really excited. We have another guest star with us today. They keep coming. So if you want to be on 2 Minute Matters, please let us know what your topic is. We'll figure it out, just have some fun together. It's really easy. So I want to welcome Cynthia Kerr. She is the CEO and co-founder of wellpay.ai. And so before we get started, Cynthia, tell us a little bit about WellPay.
Thank you so much, Deb. It's a pleasure to be here. WellPay works with organizations of all sizes to really help establish and develop the rewards and compensation strategy of an organization. We work with CEOs, CHROs, heads of HR, and really dive in and get into the details and the decision-making to have fast solutions that are real-time.
That's great and so needed. So if you're interested in learning more, check out the website, DM her. Her LinkedIn profile is going to be linked on this note here. But we're so happy to have you for 2 Minute Matters. And we talked about sort of what should we talk about in 2 minutes. And I think you floated, which I think is really great, the correlation between pay discrimination and dissatisfaction at work. Not a big shocker that there's that correlation, but I'm not going to talk about it. I'm going to set the timer. Cynthia knows the rules, 2 minutes. And one of these days, we're actually going to give an award to someone who hits the 2 minutes, but because it's harder than you think. All right, so we're going to get started. Here's our 2 Minute Matters, and let's go.
Let's do it. So the reason why I think this topic continues to come up is, we have a lot of market factor pressure right now, and that you have pay transparency laws being passed in the United States, you have pay transparency laws being passed in other nations like Australia, and you also have a lot of pay transparency in your job postings. So people are having more conversations around how they're compensated, as they should be. What I found very interesting in my work, and I posted an article about this the other day, is the conversation around pay dissatisfaction and how happy you feel at work. And that we assign these rates for ourselves, but that doesn't necessarily correlate to the rate of the labor in the market.
Interesting.
And so how do we continue to move through this kind of new world order of more knowledge, right? Realizing that different roles and different levels have different compensation markers and targets. And Deb, I'd also love to hear from you, like, how have you coached leaders on this when people come in with an inherent feeling that they should have X, or that somehow something wrong has been done to them, right? A claim of discrimination, when in fact the organization says, here are the methods and metrics that we use. We're fair within our parameter. How have you dialogued about that?
Yeah, we're just starting to have this conversation, and we actually did a webinar on transparency in ER, and this question came up about pay transparency. I think the thing is, look, the good news is maybe the unintended consequence when we were all so nervous about pay transparency, how could we possibly be putting that on job posting, is it gives you those markers to have that conversation where before they just didn't exist. And I think managers and people didn't know where to go, but you have to pay attention to your roles. It forces you to look at sort of, if we're going to put this range out there, how does the rest of our organization fit into it? You see, I told you 2 minutes is very, very fast. Can you believe it? But I think it's a really great conversation for people to continue to have and to see how that's changing. Are we having more conversations? But from my perspective, it's driving more transparency, and that builds trust, as I will say 300 times a day.
I completely agree.
Yeah. So that's it. I mean, 2 minutes is nothing, but it starts the conversation.
Yeah, it flies by.
So let us know what you think about pay transparency. Is it good? How are you handling the conversations in the workplace? Do you have any tips? Put them below. Let's get the conversation started. And again, thank you so much, Cynthia, for joining us. And anybody else that wants to come, we will see you on our next episode of 2 Minute Matters. Thanks so much.
Thank you. It's been a pleasure. Drop me a note on LinkedIn if you'd like to chat about this or anything else related to compensation. Thank you.
Thanks.